The truth about America-Israel invasion of Iraq has now been exposed, and a lot of you did not know this secret, and I will explain to you. And it did not start today. Yesterday, the U.S. Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, said the U.S. did not start the war, but the U.S. is going to finish the war. Now, what is happening is what we have seen in Libya. It is all about oil. It's all about oil and control about oil. The same thing occurred in Venezuela. But unfortunately, the U.S. did not have the skills and competence to do the same thing that they did in Venezuela in Iran, because Iran is a bit different. The structure of Iran is different, and so they had no option than to rely on bombing, which will lead to collateral damage. Now, what is happening in Iran date back as far as 1930s. As far as 1930s. Now, it is as a result of oil, and I will explain to you what happened. And at the end of the day, we are going to have the same scenario that played out in Libya in Iran, because at the beginning, some administration was told that if they take out Ayatollah Khamenei, that is the supreme leader, alongside some of his close collaborators, Iran will be stable, there will not be any resistance, and everything will move on well. But that is not the case. What happened? In 1953, around the 1930s, when Iran became an autonomous state, Iran elected its first democratic prime minister. It was known as Mohammed Mossad. Now, when he came to power, the British controlled the Iranian oil. The full control of Iranian oil was under the British government, which was known as the Anglo oil. The British had the lion's share of Iranian oil, which means that all of the resources, the money coming out from Iranian oil, majority of the money was going to the British. It was not going to Iranian. Iranian citizens were not benefiting from the oil. In 1953, Muhammad Mossadegh nationalized the oil. He said he is going to nationalize the oil, and that Iranians should be able to enjoy the fruit of their labor, and they should be able to enjoy their raw materials. So when he nationalized the oil, the British were not happy. The British got angry and immediately went to America, their number one ally, under their NATO ally. They went to America, they pleaded with America that America should come to their aid, because America had nothing to do with Iran by that time, had nothing to do with Iran. So when Mohammed Mossadegh came to power and nationalizes the oil, the British government got so angry. They were so furious. No, what did they do? They went to America. They negotiated with America, and you know their partners. America said, okay, I'm going to help you. So there was a secret CIA operation that went on in Iran. That was in 1953, known as Operation Ajax. Operation Ajax, where the Americans sponsored a CIA operation. At that time, the head of that operation was the son of Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Franklin Roosevelt, the son was the one who led that operation. Whatever I think I'm telling you now, you can go and research and Google and fact check. Now, when that 53 occurred, CIA operation went, they demonized Mohammed Mossad, and they fought against him, and 300 protesters were killed in Tehran. 300 protesters were killed in Tehran, and as they were killed, America came under the guise that their American citizens have been killed by Mohammed Mossad, that Mohammed Mossad regime has killed American citizens, which gave America now the full control to fully involved in the war, in the conflict, and removed Mohammed Mossad, the first democratically elected Iranian prime minister. So when they tell you that it's all about democracy, the next thing what happened was, when Mohammed Mossad was removed, a new leader came in. This new leader came in, and he came in. What did he do? The new prime minister that came in had a shift in policy. He immediately signed an accord and brought back the British control of the Iranian oil, and gave the British the lion's share back, gave them the lion's share back. And when he gave them the lion's share back, what also precipitated was that the deal with America, that's the Shahs. Shahs is the prime minister. They signed the deal. America got to oil extraction, the British got back to business. And the striking thing is that when the Shahs ruled Iran, after Mohammed Mossad, when he ruled Iran, he was heavily supported by the American government at the time. He brought in a secret police. The secret police had very, very serious stance. Anybody demanding anything about the government accountability of the oil is arrested, is jailed. And this secret police was being trained. This secret police was being trained by the Americans. They were trained by the Americans. That was in early 2000, in that same 1956. So when they were trained by America, the secret police, he ruled with an iron fist, a dictatorship fist, being supported by the British and by the Americans. Now, this is someone who removed a democratically elected prime minister, and he removed the nationalization of oil and brought back the British. When the British continued, and under 26 years, Iranian lived in a high level of dictatorship supported by the British. Whatever I'm talking now, go and Google it and research it. It's fact, not emotions. You see, when this crisis occurred, I took my time to research to see what is happening. Now, the same thing. Now, let me read it to you. The Shahs returned. The Shahs returned from a brief exit. Absolute monarchy from 26 years, oil interest. And this oil interest precipitated for the British to have full control of Iranian oil. Now, as he ruled within that time, 53, it forced Iranian to move to the street to what became known as the Iranian Revolution in 1979. Around the 79, the Iranian Revolution. Iranian had a year like that. They decided that they were going to protest and remove this American British-backed prime minister who had removed their nationalization of oil and had backed Western companies. So when he was removed, it was at the same time that the Iranian Revolution occurred. Go and look at the Iranian Revolution. When the Iranian Revolution occurred, it now led to the birth of a new Iran, where you had now this supreme leader who had been killed. They came back and renationalized everything and ensured that they changed the name from the Anglo to the Anglo oil to the BP oil. I think it's something like the BP oil. Now, what happened then? They changed their foreign policy and they started moving with their own policies. This did not sit well for a lot of British companies and a lot of American companies that were extracting oil in Iran. So as time went on, this regime now also started becoming so aggressive, so aggressive, that they don't want to give any way for liberalization, and they became so aggressive. Yes, I will also note here that it's not like they have been ruling also with better way. They have also had their errors and their area of impunity as it has occurred. So what happened was that there was immediately after the revolution, the Iraq-Iran war. Iraq and Iran war occurred. Iraq attacked Iran. Immediately after they came out from the Iranian Revolution, Iraq attacked Iran. When Iraq attacked Iran, America supported Iraq, did not support Iran, because Iran Revolution had removed their leader, their backed leader. So they removed all American interest was removed from Iran. So America automatically supported Iraq in the war between Iran and Iraq. And that war went on until it finally ended. America and British did not like what happened in Iran. So today, people are telling you that, it is because of democracy. Let me be very honest with you. The supreme leader and his team had killed a lot of Iranians. Yes. But the truth here is that Iran will move to Libya scenario, because they said Gaddafi was a maximum dictator. When Gaddafi was removed, what happened? Libya is a safe haven for terrorism. Even my president, Donald Trump himself, said it, that Libya is a safe haven for terrorism. Now, Khamenei has been removed. These are the scenarios. You will still have pro-Khameneian supporters, pro-supporters of the regime. And you will have others who are not supporting the regime at all, who want a bit of liberalization. You understand? So there will be a clash between these people, and you will now have faction militias There'll be a recognized militia and an unrecognized militia. At one point in time, they will be fighting as the same thing is playing in Libya. So now, who will become the loser? The Iranians, who thought this is going to bring change to them, will become losers. Because what is happening right now, Libyans are the losers. The same Libyans who went on the street and were celebrating the ousting of Gaddafi, what has happened to them now? They are crying. Their country is a shadow of itself. And as America is bumping Iran, it will take a long time for Iran to recover. And at the same time, Iran is not going to be stable because American boots are not going to be on the ground. Iran is over 90 million people. American boots are not going to be on the ground. Iran is doing the area bombardment, which will take a longer time. Because as they are doing area bombardment, America is capitalizing on Iranians themselves to pick up resistance. And once Iranians pick up resistance, the remnants of the Khamenei's people also pick up resistance. And it will now become a clash between Iran and Iran. And at the same time, America will not be able to stabilize, which means that Iran will become a gray zone for another terrorist network to build in that Middle East. And that will now serve as a hub, as a threat to all the other Arab nations. This is what they are not seeing. This is what they are not seeing. As Libya is a hub for terrorists in Africa, if Iranian regime fully falls and there's an inside Iranian resistance, Iran against Iran on the street with confrontation and arms, that area would descend into a safe haven for terrorism, and the people that will feel the impact will be the regional neighbors. That is my analysis. You have a right to disagree respectfully, and if you disagree with me, put it in the comment section respectfully, and I will see into your point and accept if your points have more on what you have given than mine.